What's up guys, today I'll be going over new hardware versus used hardware and what really the difference is between the two. So when I was cubing, I always found myself thinking, why don't I just use old cubes that I've already had and just keep using them? And the problem with that is, it's gonna be a good cube if you buy it brand new, but the cube definitely wears out as you use it. So for example, this is my old Wushuang, and now this is my Volk 5M. This is still a decent puzzle right now, but it just feels very worn out. So, like, the springs aren't really holding up as well, and it just doesn't feel as good. If you go to the Volk 5, however, it just feels stable, very well made, just an overall really nice puzzle. And that's the difference between a used cube and like a new cube. You're gonna find that in a used cube, it's gonna be weaker. It's not gonna be as strong or as good as a new cube will be. As well as that, like if you were to compare a used cube to a new older version cube, you again wouldn't find that it would be the same or have the same qualities. Another example of this would be between the GAN XS and the SM. This definitely still feels like a good cube for sure, and especially because I haven't used it as like that much really, because I always had something else. But when you use this like older cube that you've definitely used enough or like for a long period of time, there starts to be just some feeling that it's being used a lot and it's not really good. A better like way of showing this is through my GAN X. It really just feels like it's not good. It's just sluggish and slow, and the springs are worn out, and it's just not nice. If we were to compare it to this GAN XS, it's just such a nicer feeling, and you can get like more enjoyment and like really nice speeds, and it's overall like a really good puzzle if you ask me, compared to this GAN X. If we were to go back to these two, it's especially big on big cubes because the pieces will start to move around a lot, and it's not really nice. It's like when you're turning, I can feel like the pieces are turning like and moving wherever I don't want it to move. And that's mostly coming from the springs, which are starting to weaken up. The plastic is just like starting to be weaker, and even sometimes the magnets from hitting so much, that can stop it from being either less magnetized or just not working as well. We're gonna go to my Volk 5. It just feels more like normal and how a 5x5 should feel. So used hardware is definitely good. It just won't be able to compete with the newer hardware, or like even the same cube just bought now. Like for example, I can get around 112 with this. I average around like 120 with this cube. It just does not feel anywhere near my normal times. Like that happens due to the springs. When I had this and it was like completely new, nothing happened. Like that would never happen. Now it happens quite a lot. So I don't use this cube, I use the Volk. And this just feels like, one, a better cube because of like the better design, and two, it just feels newer, and that's like, it's a feeling I don't really understand, but it's definitely a feeling you get when you solve with a new cube versus an older cube. Now, I'm going to explain the difference between a used cube and an old good cube. Okay, so this is a used cube. A used cube is a cube that's already been like broken in, worn out, used for maybe like a year. The average like 3x3 lasts like 14 months when in use, like for the top solvers. So then that's why they switch, because their cube starts not feeling as good as it was before. And that's why, like, I'm pretty sure some cubers, they'll just get the exact same cube maybe a year later, just because they know that cube's good. They'll just set it up the same way and it'll feel the same. Like, for example, this cube, this is an SM. It feels good. It's an older cube. It's like 2 to 3 years old right now from the making of this video. But it still can perform just because I haven't used it as much. This is an example of a good old cube. a cube that still can perform, but that's just a bit older and just it isn't really as modern as other cubes are. Like, if you think about it, the Volk is a good example. So the Volk is a cube where it actually has been used for a very long time. So like various years. Like, I'm pretty sure Sean Patrick Villanueva, Sean Patrick got the second place at Worlds using a Volk, and that has been like a cube that was out like at least like 3 years ago, and it's still being used. It's not because he's using a cube that he got a long time ago. Due to his sponsorship with the Cubicle, he's able to get the cube again because he likes it a lot. That's the same with Son Hyuk-nam, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Sorry if I can't pronounce it right. And they both can perform really well with old hardware, but not that it's used old hardware. It's new old hardware. It's not like you get like some chair. If it's new but it's like 5 years old, you'll still use it. But if it's like old and it's from 5 years ago, you probably won't use it as much, or like want to use it as much. Not even like 5 years, maybe like 20 years. It's not going to be as good as if you were to get a new chair. So I'd say this is how I'd end it. New hardware, that's from 2 years ago, and used hardware from 2 years ago. There is a difference between the two. I have people in my life who are trying to just say, don't buy new cubes, just use the older cubes you have. No. Used cubes have a problem with their springs. They'll be worn out, and they won't feel as good as when you got them. At least new old hardware will still be feeling quite decent, especially because it was good for the time and you can get it now. So it's not going to be as bad as if you were to get your older cube and just use that. It's definitely better to just get a new old cube than a used old cube. That's what I'm trying to say. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.